Good morning, all students. Today's our topic is absorption of water. We know that the water is life. Water is the fluid of life because all living things, including plants, are made up of 80% to 90% of water. The metabolic activities in all living systems mainly takes place in water medium. Circulation of water throughout the plant body plays a key role in almost all the vital life processes. Life without water is impossible. We know that without water, life is not there. The water content of some growing cell may be 90% or more amount of water. Other hand, in dormant seed or dry seed and birds, water content may be 10% or less. But presence of water is a must for sustaining life. Hence, water is known as the elixir of life. What is meant by elixir? Elixir is nothing but the helping to survival forever. Because without water, the life is not there. Absorption of water, the name of the chapter. In this chapter, this is the second chapter, but part first, this part contain introduction, structure of root, structure and properties of water, and role of water in plant life. In this chapter, as per the name of the chapter, absorption of water, we all know that the water is present only in the soil. But the principal source of water is soil, is rainwater. An appreciable amount of water moves down in the soil called as the gravitational water, and it is not available to the plant. Gravitational water is not available to the plants, but capillary water is held by the thin capillaries of proper spaces formed by the soil particle. After the movement of gravitational water has stopped, that capillary water is the major source of water from the plant. Let us think that there is a soil particle. On that soil particle, when we put the water, that soil particle becomes full of water, and excess water from that soil particle that are removed or that is drain off. That drain of water is known as the gravitational water, and the water which is present on the soil surface, that water is known as the capillary water, and the water which is present into the soil surface or on the soil surface, that capillary water is only important for the plant for absorption process. In this way, there are two concepts are there. First one is the gravitational water, that is known as the drain of water, and second one is the capillary water. That capillary water is present on the surface of the soil, that is only important to absorb by the plant. The amount of water available to the plant depend on the texture and structure of the soil. As we know that there are the different texture of the soil, different types of the soil. For example, sandy soil, loamy soil, clay soil, and sandy soil held less quantity of water because of the coarse particle and higher pore spaces on them. Clay soil retains much water due to a small pore spaces, but these soil become easily waterlogged. Loam soil retain optimum quantity of water, and these soil are mix of sand, slate, and clay, and they are supposed to be the best for plant growth. Hence, out of all these soil, only loamy soil that is important for the growth of the plant. This is about the introduction. After that, as we see this picture, in this picture, a plant is there, huge amount of water is present into the soil, and that water which is present into the soil is absorbed only by the root system. Root system absorb the water and transfer it to the uppermost part of the plant, that is nothing but the leaves of the plant, and through leaves it is transpired into the atmosphere. That is nothing but the absorption of water. Absorption of water is a process of uptake of water by the plant through the root. Root is only the mediator who absorb the water. And second point is the soil provides anchorage to the plant. That soil not only gives water to the plant, but another main role of soil is to give support, to give the anchorage to whole plant. Soil is also a reservoir of water and mineral. Not only water is present into the soil, but also various nutrient, major and minor nutrient, they are also present into the soil and they form a solution with the water. That means water is not separated, but it is in the form of solution, and the solution is with the minerals, various type of minerals. Plant absorb water from the soil but through a mediator, and that mediator is nothing but the root hairs or roots. Main part of absorption of water is root hair. Water moves upward through xylem to the different part of the plant. Whenever the root system absorbs the water, it comes toward the xylem, and we all know that the xylem is the canal through the water is moved from downward direction to the uppermost direction. Next point is let us see the structure of root. When we see the chapter absorption of water, we must know the root system or through which the water can be absorbed. This is the figure of roots. It has four main parts are there. Root consists of four following zones, in which first one is the meristematic zone. Where is it? It is at the tip part. Let us see in the figure meristematic zone. And what is meant by meristematic zone? That is known as the meristematic zone because that is the growing region, or meristematic tissue are present in this region. Meristematic cell are present in this region, and the main function of meristematic tissue is to grow the root system. This meristematic zone is not only present on the root, but it also present at the tipmost on the tip only, or uppermost part of the plant, or on tip part of the plant also. What is the function of meristematic tissue? To grow the plant. As we see, plant can be grow on the tip of the root as well as the uppermost apical part of the plant, and that because of the meristematic zone. That is, at the tip of root there is a delicate part is there. So to protect that delicate part, at the tip of the root there is presence of a root cap. This is about the meristematic zone. Second one is the main function of the meristematic zone is to growth. Second is the elongation zone. This is the second part. That elongation zone is nothing but the part which is present above the meristematic zone. The root hair in this part is very negligible. Very rarely there on there the root hairs are present. Zone of elongation. Meristematic zone, here the cells are made up newly in the meristematic zone, and when it slowly mature, it goes into the elongation zone. After that, third part is root hair zone. Here further that elongation zone, it grows into the root hair zone, and here on the root hair zone there are small root hair is there. And our chapter absorption of water, and that water is absorbed from the soil through only these root hairs. Root hair is only organ which absorb the water from the soil. And further last zone, that is nothing but the maturation zone. After maturation, it is mature root is formed after the maturation of the cell, and that is the last zone. In this way, there are the four parties there. Mostly elongation zone is important for absorption of the mineral nutrient, whereas root hair zone is important for absorb only water and gives it to the whole plant. Next point is the structure and properties of water. As we know, what is water, or what is the structure of water? Water is made up from two molecules, hydrogen and oxygen. Here, water molecule is made up of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, and the formula is H2O, hydrogen, two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. The two hydrogen molecules, they are make a angle on the oxygen molecule, and that angle is the 104.5 degree, that angle. Here, this water molecule is a dipolar. Before this, water is a fluid of life. We all that each and every cell, it requires water for most of the metabolic processes. So water is fluid of life. Without water, none of cell is live, because 80 to 90% of water is present into the cell. So whole organism made up from the different organ, that organ from tissue from cell, or reverse process. Cell comes together, they form tissue comes together, they form organ, and organ come together and they form whole organism. But what is the building block of that organism? That is nothing but the cell, and cell having 90 to 95% of water. If that water is not present into the cell, then there is no life. So water is fluid of life, and as we say, the water is made up from the two hydrogen and one oxygen molecule. Next one is the water molecule is the dipole structure. What is mean by dipole structure? Dipole, that means there is two charges on the water molecule. The oxygen electron are positioned on one side of the oxygen, and two hydrogen nuclei are positioned on the other side. The angle between the oxygen nucleus and the hydrogen nucleus is 104.5 degree. The oxygen nucleus in the water molecule has a greater affinity for electrons than the hydrogen nuclei. The oxygen is thus more negative than the hydrogen, because of which the water molecule is said to be a dipolar structure. Here in the figure is also shows that on the oxygen side there is a negative charge, and on hydrogen side there is a positive charge. Two different charges are present on the water molecule, hence it is known as the dipolar structure. Next, the liquid water, that is the colorless, odorless, tasteless and highly incompressible. Water expands when it freezes, and on the other hand, almost all other substances contract on the boiling and freezing. Hence, ice is less dense than liquid water, and hence it is floats. As we mentioned that water has a high boiling point. What is the boiling point of water? It is 100 degrees centigrade, and high heat of vaporization. It is the 540 calorie per gram at 100 degrees centigrade. That is the high heat of vaporization. Because of hydrogen bonding only, that much amount of vaporization, 540 calorie per gram at 100 degrees centigrade can be occur. This property of water is highly beneficial to plant life, as a large amount of heat is released from the water before it freezes and evaporates. It has a considerable cooling effect also. So it is necessary for plant. Next one is the low molecular weight. As we know that the water has a low molecular weight of 18 only, like a gas. For example, like ammonia. What is the molecular weight of ammonia? It is 70. Or methane. The molecular weight of methane is 16. And both these are the gases. And water has molecular weight is 18. And it is equal to that of the ammonia and methane. But then and then only water is in liquid state because of a very high attractive force between water molecule as a result of hydrogen bonding, and hence it is in the liquid form. Next one is the high cohesive force. Water molecule has a high cohesive force. The ability of water molecule in the liquid state to cling to one another tenaciously is called as the property of cohesion. This causes continuous flow of water inside the plant and water from an unbreakable column in the plant body. As plant absorb the water from the root toward the uppermost part of the plant, that is the tip of the plant, and from root to the tip there is the continuous column of water without breaking, and that is due to the cohesive force only. Next one is the water is a universal solvent. We all know that the water is one of the most ideal solvent system. A variety of substances get radially dissolved in water. Electrolytes get rapidly dissolved in water. Their positively and negatively charged ion are attracted to the negative and positive side of the water molecule. Thus, water become a good conductor of electricity. Absolute pure water is a pure conductor of electricity. So it is a universal solvent. Besides that, there are also some important properties of water that are nothing but the polarity of water makes it an excellent solvent. Water has a high tensile strength. Viscosity of water decreases markedly with increasing temperature. These are also some important properties of water. Our next point is role of water in plant. As we all know that the water is essential constituent of protoplasm of the cell. About 90 to 95% of the protoplasm that is made up of water alone, and hence in the absence of water, protoplasm, the basis of life, will be lost completely, and plant cannot be survived. So it is an important role of water in plant life. Second one is it act as chemical reactant in living system. What is means that is nothing but the water act as chemical reactant in living system. The water molecule serves as a source of hydrogen atom for the reduction of carbon dioxide in the vital reaction of photosynthesis. So it is a act as chemical reactant. Next is the water. We all know that it is a universal solvent. Water is universal solvent in which many organic substances like carbohydrate, organic acid, amino acid, etc. are dissolved. Similarly, all the essential mineral nutrient required for plants' growth, they are also dissolved in water. Hence, without water, it is impossible for plant to get these organic and inorganic metabolites required for its growth and development. So, it is an important point. Next one is it is a solvent of nutrient, because the mineral element known as the nutrient from the soil are absorbed by the root along with the water only, because the mineral nutrient which is present into the soil, they are mixed with the water, and that mixture, that solution of water is absorbed by the plant only. So it is a solvent for nutrient. Next one is the nutrient circulation in the plant body. Here the water not only the absorb and dissolve the organic and inorganic nutrient, but it also circulate or distribute all these substances to various part of the plant. Thus it act as the transporting medium in plant's life. Next one is water. It is medium for chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is nothing but the various metabolic reaction, and for all that metabolic reaction, water is a medium. Water is the medium in which thousands of chemical reaction takes place within the plant body. There is participation in all metabolic reaction. In plant body, there are different metabolic reactions are undertook. In first lecture, I give some example of metabolic reaction or physiological reaction. First one is the photosynthesis, respiration, seed germination, seed death, senescence, flowering, fruiting. All that are the examples of metabolic reactions, and that metabolic reaction requires water. For example, take an example of photosynthesis. Water directly participate in all metabolic reactions. For example, in photosynthesis, water is one of the raw materials for which carbohydrates are synthesized in the chloroplast. As we see, the reaction of photosynthesis. What is in this reaction? There is carbon dioxide and water molecule. In presence of chloroplast and sunlight, they produces the carbohydrate plus water molecule plus oxygen is evolved into the atmosphere. What is that reaction? That reaction is 6CO2 plus 12H2O. In presence of chloroplast and sunlight, they produces C6H12O6, that is the carbohydrate. Again I tell, C6H12O6, that is the carbohydrate, plus 6 water molecule, 6H2O, that is the water molecule, and 6 molecule of oxygen. That oxygen molecule is evolved into the atmosphere. So in this reaction clearly shows that water is required for the photosynthesis reaction. This is one example. Like this, other metabolic reaction is also requires water for their growth. Next is that during the process of transpiration, water is circulated throughout the plant body, and thus it keeps the plant cool. Transpiration is only process through which water is lost through the plant, through the aerial part of the plant. As water is lost through the aerial part of the plant, there is the vacuity of water, and again there is a force is developed at the topmost part, and due to that force, root again absorb the water and gives to the leaf, and so that a circulation of water throughout the plant body can be undertaken, and due to that only plant body keeps cool. Next one is the closing and opening of the stomata. Water plays an important role in the closing and opening of the stomata, and thereby regulate the physiological process like the absorption, transpiration, photosynthesis and respiration. Because we take one example. For example, transpiration. Transpiration is loss of water through aerial part of the plant, but that aerial part is nothing but the leaf. But from leaf or from the stomata only, that vapor form water can be released into the atmosphere. And when it undertake, when stomata is open, when it is closed, there is no transpiration. When stomata are open, that time only transpiration can be takes place. And thus only photosynthesis. Photosynthesis require carbon dioxide which is present outside the plant, that is means by the that is in the atmosphere, and atmospheric carbon dioxide is absorbed by the plant through stomata only. Hence, when stomata is open, that time only carbon dioxide is absorbed by the plant. So closing and opening of the stomata, it is an important process in the absorption of water. Next one is cell elongation and growth of the plant. Actually, growth of plant, it is of three main phases: cell division, cell elongation, and cell maturation. And when these three processes are completed, that and that time only the growth of plant can be takes place. So cell elongation, it is another important plant, and when cell elongate, when it absorb more and more amount of water, at that time cell is elongated, and as cell is elongated, it becomes mature after some time, and after maturation it plant growth can be undertaken. Next one is the regulate plant movement. As water absorption makes the cell turgid when it is essential for growth of the plant, and water is a source of reducing power for the reduction of many compound in the cellular metabolism like photosynthesis and respiration. It plays an important process in movement of the plant. That is nothing but it also regulate the movement like opening of the flower, movement of leaves, movement of the root, etc. And water is essential for the seed germination, without which the seed will not germinate. It also important for the mobility of the gamete also. In this way, these are some function or role of water in plants life. In this way, today we are stopped, but before that, our regular session, that is nothing but the think about the picture. See the picture. In above picture, they are human being, and the picture below, that is the animals. Think about the picture. Thank you.